Week 6 is in the book, so that means it's time to hit those Dynasty waiver wires to find players that could add value to the back end of your rosters. And first and foremost, I want to highlight a couple of players that are highly rostered, but not 100% rostered that I think need to be. And that includes Andy Dalton, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, Kareem Hunt, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, Isaac Guerrero, running back for the San Francisco 49ers, Audric Estime, running back for the Denver Broncos, Kamani Vidal, running back for the LA Chargers, Juju Smith-Schuster, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, Brandon Cooks, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and Allen Lazard, wide receiver for the New York Jets. Again, all these guys are rostered in well over 90% of Dynasty leagues out there, but not exactly 100%, so double check your waiver wires and immediately add these guys if they are available. All right, the injury news of the week. Jerome Ford left the game early with a hamstring injury, so in his place was the duo of D'Onta Foreman and Pierre Strong. Both guys basically split the backfield, with Foreman seeing 12 touches for 47 yards and Strong seeing 10 touches for 78 yards, though Foreman did have an 18-yard run called back by a hold. So Strong did look like the noticeably better player, but Foreman has been getting more work all year with Jerome Ford healthy. So the assumption is that D'Onta Foreman is the 1A in this offense to Strong's 1B, so long as Jerome Ford is out. Now, of course, none of this may ultimately matter, though, with Nick Chubb set to return, so really we're just taking a shot at adding the 1B with Nick Chubb as long as Jerome Ford is off the field. But I still think that both of these guys, D'Onta Foreman and Pierre Strong, are worth an add this week based on their usage alone on Sunday. All right, can I take things you love to see for 500, please? Because as a Sean Tucker believer, I could not have been happier with his performance this week as the RB2 with Rachaad White out. The game ended up being a huge blowout for Tampa Bay, so Tucker did get some extra garbage time production, but 14 carries for 136 yards and a touchdown on the ground, plus another 56 yards and a touchdown through the air. He outproduced Bucky Irving in all of the areas of the game, again, mostly due to some extra garbage time usage, but this was so encouraging to see for Sean Tucker. Remember, Sean Tucker was a really good prospect coming out of Syracuse. He was actually my pre-draft RB3 in the class. He just ended up going undrafted because of a heart condition that popped up in his medicals during draft season. If Rachaad White was already on the hot seat due to poor efficiency and production, this performance by Tucker may have driven the final nail in the coffin for Tampa Bay to move on from Rachaad White and move forward with my new favorite backfield nickname of Bucky and Tucky. Tucker may never end up being relevant for fantasy football again this season in terms of actually going in your starting lineup, but for now, he has definitely made a name for himself as a really fun dynasty stash. Now, as a couple reiterations from last week at the running back position, if you have extra room on your bench, D'Ernest Johnson and Dare Ogunbowale are not bad stashes. As I mentioned last week, I believe that Dare Ogunbowale played himself into the handcuff role for Joe Mixon, so if Mixon were to get hurt again, Dare would be the next man up in a really good offense, and then D'Ernest Johnson could find himself in a handcuff role if Travis Etienne's injuries actually keep him off the field or Jacksonville does end up trading him. So add both of these guys if they are available and if you have the room. And finally, at wide receiver, we get a rookie receiver performance in New Orleans from day 3 pick Bub Means. The whole game, honestly, for the Saints was really fun to watch, with Spencer Rattler looking very solid overall, and his leading receiver ended up being Bub Means with 8 targets, 5 receptions, 45 yards, and a touchdown for 15.5 PPR fantasy points. Chris Olave did leave the game early with a concussion, so that probably led to the increased usage for Means, but we've also seen countless times that the main backup receiver has really good rapport with the main backup quarterback from all of their time together during practice as the second team. That could have all come together in a perfect storm for this week's performance for Bub Means. So we can't completely write him off from his first real look at meaningful snaps based on this production that he did have, so he is well worth a dart throw in Dynasty for sure.